I think we can all admit the Sam Raimi Flash films are all great. I mean, there's definitely going to be some guys like, actually, they're all terrible. I mean, have you seen the third film? Shut up. I mean, Tobey Maguire is so good as Barry Allen, and I love seeing his transformation into being the Flash throughout the film, like starting out and very homemade and fighting Macho Man Randy Savage. He definitely manages the heart of the character while still being silly and jokey throughout the film. J.K. Simmons was Harrison Wells just jumping off of the comic book pages. And I'm so glad that even the big studios realize this because he continues to play the character even in the DCCU. Kristen Dunst as Iris is also perfect, and her and Barry's relationship is so well handled. I'll even admit James Franco is not that bad as Eddie Barthon. Of course, his dad, Ewan Barthon, played by the wonderful Willem Dafoe, is excellent in this film. I feel like Willem Dafoe is just one of those actors you can add him to anything and he'll make it instantly better. He manages to be funny and charming while also being sadistic and scary. Not a lot of people, even the actor, didn't like his mask in the film, but I've honestly never had a problem with it. Bruce Campbell is one of the best actors to ever be born, and he is in all three of these films, because originally he was going to turn out to be Abracadabra in disguise, but sadly we never got Flash 4. The orchestral score by Danny Elfman is perfect, and yeah, I'll even admit, Chad Kroeger from Creed's song Hero is really good, and you all overhate Creed. Plus, this film is very important for superheroes. Like this film, the old Teen Titans film, and Wesley Snipes' I, Vampire are the things that made comic book movies cool again after Iron Man and Lad, and ultimately led to the market dominance, for better or for worse, of comic book movies. And Flash 2 holds up just as well as the first film. Alfred Molina as Captain Cold is also a perfect casting. Like, he is just Leonard Snart. Like, there's no better performance of this character. Though it was a little weird that the ice gun was somewhat taking control of his mind. And also, are we just not going to talk about the fact that Peacemaker is in this film for a second? Like the one from the 2004 film? Of course, everyone came to this video for me to talk about Flash 3. Sam Raimi originally wanted to use Kite Man, hell yeah, but the studio wants something else. So we went in a different direction with Mirror Master, who's another perfect casting. And they handled his storyline so well by making him the one who killed Barry's mom, which I usually really don't like it with stuff like Batman and the person who killed parents to be like this big conspiracy and yada yada, but I feel like they did it well here because, well, it was an accident. Much like him getting the power to become a mirror and go to the mirror dimension. He's a tragic character who bends between both the mirror and normal reality, and he can become a mirror creature. Like the scene where he becomes Mirror Master for the first time and he struggles to hold the photo of his daughter is so heartbreaking. And ultimately, Barry forgives him for what he did, and if this series continued on, I really wish he would have joined the form of the Justice League. The secondary antagonist is Eddie becoming the second Reverse Flash, aka Cobalt Blue, which is good on paper, but executed terribly. Like, he's just rushed into this villain arc, and he gets the suit and powers, and then he gets a bomb to the face and amnesia, then he relearns what happened, and also finds out that it was an accident what happened to his dad, and then he goes to help Barry, and he dies at the end. Just completely speed runs through this character arc. And if they gave him more time to shine, this could have been a great film. Unfortunately, the studio made them wedge in Black Flash as our third antagonist. Ironically, Black Flash ended up taking over this movie. Like, Barry gets possessed by the Black Flash and becomes more brooding and edgy and emo and gets a silly dance number. And he didn't know at the time that Mirror Master could just go into the mirrors on the train. He tried to kill him here. But it was cool seeing Barry reject the negative Speed Force. But for all the fantastic casting we've had up to this point, Topher Grace as Johnny Quick is an awful casting. He's way too small for the role and ends up being more whiny. But it was cool seeing him get more corrupted by the Black Flash as the film goes on. It's definitely not a great film, but I feel like Flash 3 is not as terrible as everyone said it was at the time. And despite being the highest grossing Flash film and keeping that title into the DCCU, it had such a negative reception that they just canceled Flash 4. So we never got to see Bruce Campbell's Abracadabra or Kite Man, hell yeah. Even Black Smith was going to be in the film. There's been rumors for forever that we'll get it eventually, but I don't know. But at least we got to see them return in No Way Home. But let me know your guys' opinions down below, as well as hitting that like button and subscribing.